What's up, y'all? My name is Chef Chris, and watch how I prep for my plates tomorrow. Hey, y'all, so one of the most important things when you're boiling water is to always make sure you nicely salt the water and put a nice amount of oil in it. The oil is basically so it doesn't stick and clump up. It allows you so you don't have to keep stirring and be attentive. I know some people in the comments, y'all gonna be like, oh, if you just stir. But sometimes when you're multitasking in the kitchen, you don't have time to just baby things. So that's why we add in our oil. And the salt, I promise you, if you cook some noodles without salt and cook some with salt, you will see a big difference. Yeah, so just a quick little tip for any home cooker chef who always has the issue with their cutting board, like trying to cut it and it keeps moving. I'm sure y'all already know this, but if you don't, just take a damp towel and throw your cutting board right over, and it's going to prevent it from moving so much whenever you see. Okay, y'all, so we have our wings and we want to separate them. So essentially all I'm going to do is fill along. I'm going to fill where that joint is connecting them to. I'm going to cut down, just go straight down, just like that. All right, y'all, I'm gonna repeat these steps and then we're gonna clean the chicken and I'm gonna show y'all the marinade. Okay, y'all, so we got all our chicken done. So what I do to clean my chicken, it depends on how dirty it is. This actually looks like some pretty clean chicken. So we're just gonna let it soak for about 5-10 minutes in some vinegar and some water. But depending on where you get it from, especially because I'm Caribbean, my family's Caribbean, you know what I'm saying, that it be questionable sometimes and it looks questionable. So we'll take some lemons, we'll take some limes, we'll take some vinegar, and we'll take some water, and you just kind of, just like as you're washing dishes, you will scrub the chicken and all of that with lamb. And some people who have fetishes, they like to cut all the extra skin off and all of that. But this is fried chicken. All of that is gonna get nice and crispy. Almost forgot to say, you wanna make sure like all of these little feathers and everything come off. What I like to do is I like to just pluck them and drop them in the water, because when I rinse them out, it's going to get all the feathers gone. But I found like some people use tweezers. The method I use, I just pinch them like kind of with my finger. The closer you get to the skin, the better. It's not going to like push your finger off or flake off or break off. So you want to make sure you do that. Yeah, the waters came to a rolling boil, so we're going to add in our Saliatani. I think that's how you pronounce it. I like to use these just because of the shape, and I feel like they capture more sauce, but you know. Okay, y'all, so to the marinade, we're gonna add in a little bit of milk, a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of Lawry's seasoning salt, complete seasoning, and just a tad bit of pickle juice. So we want to give this a good mix. After you've given everything a good mix, it should look something like this. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the macaroni. After about 8-10 minutes, it should be ready, depending on how big or what size or what heat you got it on. Okay, y'all, so I got my cheese grater here. I do have bigger cheese graters and automatic one, but like, I don't know, a little thing about me from like my early chef days, I literally had to like earn the right to even be in the kitchen before I was actually called a chef. So they wouldn't let me use any food processors, any type of electrical equipment. I had to hand grate everything. So now, I don't know, I just felt like if it's not like hand grating, I guess, or if it's not done by hand, then I feel like I'm kind of half-assing it. Okay, I'm working on the pepper jack now. So I did want to go to Wegmans in the morning to get more cheeses. I did want to get some Gruyere cheese and some smoked Fontina. I feel like those really set it off. But we gonna do what we do now. This is why I say prep is always so important, because you want to allow yourself time to make up for the mistake. Okay, y'all, so next we're gonna work on our flour mix. It just saves a lot of time already having all your seasonings and everything mixed up in a Ziploc bag or something. That way you can just easily pour it in a bowl, or even if you want, just mix it up in a bag itself. Go into it with some all-purpose flour. To the bowl, I'm gonna add in some oregano, garlic powder, black pepper, and a little bit more of the Lawry's seasoned salt. Give that a good mix. Once everything's nicely mixed up, we can transfer to a Ziploc. Once everything is nice and bagged up, you can put it to the side. I might need to make more tomorrow, but I do want to get some cornstarch to mix in, so I'm going to add that to the list for Wegman. We're going to make the sauce. I am going to be making probably 1 or 2 plates, and I'm going to give them to my friends so they could try and everything. This is just a trial and error day, basically, because I like to, you know what I'm saying, I don't like to make mistakes the day of, because then that leaves you scrambling. I worked in kitchens a long time to where the scrambling and all of that, like, it's never going to work, so let's get into it. All right, y'all, I'm going to show y'all how I make my mac and cheese, so we're going to go in with a half stick of butter. So once your butter gets a nice color and everything gets nicely melted, you want to add in a little bit of flour at a time and keep stirring on low heat. So once your roux starts getting a nice color like this, what I do is I slightly increase the heat and I slowly start adding in my milk. And you just want to keep stirring. You want to make sure all of this is stirred. Just keep stirring and keep adding. As soon as it clumps up, you want to just keep adding, keep stirring. See, it clumps up, keep adding. Want to make sure you get the sides, get everything. Wait for it to catch up. You just want to mix, mix, mix. Make sure everything gets incorporated. You don't want no clumps in this mac and cheese at all. Once it gets nice and thick, keep going like that. This is when I increase the heat just a little bit more, simply because you're adding cold milk to it. You don't want the heat to be too high. That's how your sauce separates. But what I do is I just increase the heat. That way it recovers faster from the coldness of the milk. However, we might need to turn it down if it gets too out of hand. So like I said, you just want to whisk. Make sure you get all the little grains, all the little pieces. Keep whisking until it thickens nice up. Add more milk. You want to go little by little. Just keep repeating these steps. Once you get your sauce to the desired fill amount and thickness, what I want to do is I want to turn off my heat. And I'm going to start combining my cheeses. Once everything is combined, you want to give it a good mix. So what I'm going to add to the mac and cheese is a little bit of chicken bouillon. Black pepper. A little bit of garlic powder. A pinch of hot sauce. Let me give everything a good mix. Anyone out there who makes mac and cheese and it might turn out bland and you're using a sauce method, I recommend over seasoning your sauce, simply because the blandness of the macaroni noodles, it will cancel out the seasonings. So always, always, always add a pinch more of salt and whatever seasonings you want to your sauce. But that's all I got for y'all today. That's all I got for y'all today, though. I hope y'all like, subscribe, and if y'all appreciate it, let me know in the comments what y'all want to see on here.